My name is Chris Rivard. I am the former chair of the regional chamber. Describing how the chamber pivoted with the onset of COVID, we started the year with our first luncheon, set a record in attendance for any meeting that we'd had. Then March hit, and all of a sudden we were looking at each other and saying, can we have meetings face-to-face anymore? Can we have luncheons? Well, the answer very quickly became no, we can't. And from that point forward, chamber staff, the board, everyone had to really reevaluate what the chamber had traditionally brought to their members, to the community, and how we were going to continue to bring value to deliver those services. The staff were amazing in how they were able to take a step back and truly analyze what they'd been doing every day and bring it in a whole new way. We've traditionally had a ton of sponsor support for all of our activities, and those sponsors stayed with us, even though they might not have been getting the same benefit, but they were here for the community and they continued to provide the support. The board started meeting virtually. The staff was able to put together virtual meetings, and we tried to bring passion and energy to those meetings. They needed to know that the board was behind them. They needed to know that the board supported these new ways of getting things done, be it through budget decisions or, again, changes in programming and tactics. They were there to support that team 100%. It took a tremendous amount of collaboration between the regional chamber and TriDec and Visit Tri-Cities to come together and share answers, their knowledge, their thoughts on how we adjust to this new environment. Those organizations bounced through this and came together as one team, really for the benefit of the Tri-Cities. All of those organizations were in constant communication with the Ben Franklin Health District, which was giving all of the feedback on what could be done and what could not be done, what types of resources were available and could be provided back out to the businesses that needed those in terms of PPE and all kinds of things, again, that were not in our normal wheelhouse but had to be delivered. And so there was a connection to the cities, to the counties, to the health district, to all the organizations that were trying to work together to find answers to push forward in this crazy COVID world that we were living in.
My name is Jim Arneson, and I chair the Local Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber. Well, with all the new and unprecedented things that came about as a result of the pandemic, the first job the LGAC took on was really to understand the changes and how they impacted business, and then to really work with our businesses through the crisis of it, the recovery, and then on to resilience. In 2020, we did a COVID impact survey of our businesses so we could better understand which segments of the business community were impacted and what those impacts were. And then we followed up in 2021 with the Business Outlook survey so we could then take the temperature of our local businesses to understand what their views were of the recovery and which areas were still suffering and which were recovering a little bit faster. Another thing we did was followed up with Vote for Business, which is an online virtual candidate forum, the first in our area, really focused on business issues. So we were able to ask candidates issues affecting local businesses, and they responded both in print and in video so that our business community could understand which candidates really supported their values. Then we were involved in forming a number of coalitions, one around the fitness industry, another around the childcare industry, and then also for the elder care workers, and we're able to advocate on behalf of those constituencies. And then we joined with the U.S. Chamber and the Association of Washington Business in coalitions they were putting together in order to help advocate. We advocated with the government at all levels, federal, state, and local, and we wrote numerous letters and participated in hearings, had a number of other meetings directly with legislators and other government officials around issues about BPP forgiveness, qualifications, funding of the program, refunding of the second program, and the governor's phased reopening plans in which segments of our business would be able to reopen. We did a lot of advocacy around that. Advocacy was really around PPP funding and qualification, making the program simpler and easier for more businesses to qualify for, and for refunding and reestablishing that program. The governor's phased reopening plans, a lot of work around which businesses and segment of our business community could open at which time. And then also the unemployment payments that were being made at unprecedented levels, and the related taxes that were sure to follow. LGAC continues to be busy on a number of advocacy issues, now on really more general policy-related issues, and continue to be very active.
I'm Shay Frechette, and I'm on the Executive Committee for the Regional Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber pivoted pretty quickly for virtual events, hosting 2 annual meetings, 2 diversity summits, 18 Vote for Business candidate forums, and then of course the monthly luncheons. The Chamber's programs responded to the COVID-19 pandemic by hosting Ask the Experts. This was a virtual program free to everyone, and it covered pandemic-related issues. The Chamber also hosted a new program called Franklin County Cares Program, and this offered over $600,000 in funding to businesses in need. The Small Business Incentive Program provided $60,000 to businesses in need, and this covered PPE-related expenses and also rental assistance. The Open and Safe Coalition was incredibly helpful to businesses. This was a site that the Chamber partnered with Visit Tri-Cities and TriDeck, and it provided all the information needed for businesses to operate during the pandemic. The Open for Business signs that the Chamber provided to businesses was great because it helped the customers know which businesses were open, and that attracted customers to those businesses during the pandemic. The PPE products that the Chamber distributed during the pandemic was so helpful to businesses. Things like masks and gloves and hand sanitizers was very helpful for those businesses to operate during the pandemic. Another thing that the Chamber did was to create a list of businesses that were open for carryout during the pandemic, and this gave customers a way to just kind of figure out how they can support those businesses through ordering takeout.
Paula Lennon, Chair of the MyTri 2030 Leadership Council. The MyTri 2030 visioning effort was launched based on the belief that focused regional collaboration would help drive transformational change in the Tri-Cities region. The kind of transformation that would help us realize our vision of becoming an epicenter of innovation, prosperity, and opportunity. Bold, compelling outcomes inspire people to visualize what could be and also help create the conditions under which real progress can be made. We had this in mind when we established the 6 opportunity areas and then formed councils to identify and lead strategic initiatives. Initiatives that aligned with and supported the extensive community feedback we received and summarized in the Top 10 report. The COVID pandemic may have slowed us down a bit, but in no way did it deter our commitment. All 6 opportunity areas, from agriculture to education to quality of life, inclusiveness, prosperity, and energy, all of them remain central to realizing our vision. Community leaders, experts, and interested parties who serve on these councils are worthy of our thanks and gratitude for continuing their good work, despite the challenging times. The good news is that we recently assessed our programs and conducted an extensive review of compelling initiatives. A number of promising initiatives emerged. There are 2 that are so bold and compelling that we have the full weight of all 6 councils supporting them. First is the Agriculture Innovation and Technology Initiative. Here we envision an ecosystem of relationships between agriculture, technology, business, and innovation, focused on keeping farmers and farm profitability at the forefront, providing the advice, guidance, technology, and other resources needed to scale while also connecting local farmers with others to test ideas and offer feedback. Second is the Try the Try initiative, a regional festival that provides entertainment paired with areas of interest or economy unique to our own region. Here we hope to create an entertainment environment that helps showcase our culture and all that is unique and special about us. We also hope to enhance the quality of life and our local economic development. It's like nothing the Tri-Cities has seen or done before. Energized by abundant resources and a diverse community, we remain committed and excited about becoming that epicenter of innovation, prosperity, and opportunity that we envision. Thanks for your time.